Now that we have completed the discovery of the physical resources, it's time to pull them and automate provisioning of storage. This demo will demonstrate how to create virtual storage and virtual pools. In Viper, we go to Admin and we can see all the physical resources are already mapped. In our example, we have a local data center called Boston and a remote data center called Providence. Hosts in Boston cannot talk directly to storage on the other data center, thus the reason for creating separate virtual arrays. However, our Bplex and RecoverPoint appliances communicate across the data centers to provide data protection. The purpose of virtual arrays is to determine what devices can see each other. We'll now proceed to create the Boston virtual array. We have the option of selecting manual or automatic zoning. Automatic zoning creates the zones automatically when they are required, for example, when a host is provisioned with block storage. Manual zoning, on the other hand, requires the SAN administrator to create these zones. Once we create the virtual arrays, we need to create networks. If we look at the Fiber Channel network, notice that the Available Network section populates the content of the fabric managers that were discovered earlier. We can expand vCENS and virtual fabrics to identify what storage is connected to them. We also have virtual networks, which we can create with file storage, and these will be IP networks. We assign a name to the IP network and select what virtual array belongs to. We can select array ports and we can select hosts. In this case, we're selecting BNX File, Isilon, NetApps, and some iSCSI ports. We also select the host ports that you want to use. Please don't combine IPv4 and IPv6 addresses in the same network. We now create the remote storage array. Since this array is only used for Bplex, we will only be configuring Fiber Channel network. The vCENS that contains the Bplex are 101 and 102. Since we have RecoverPoint sitting between the local and remote arrays, notice that when we expand the arrays, we can see that Boston has connectivity to Providence and Providence has connectivity to Boston. After creating the virtual array and determining what devices can see each other, we need to create virtual pools. This is the abstraction and pooling of the physical resources. To create virtual pools, select Add. The first pool that we want to create is a high performance pool. For this pool, we will use Bmax EDF drives. Since we're using the Bmax, the storage type is block. We select thin storage pools because those are the ones created in the Bmax. The storage pools should be available in our Boston virtual array, so we only select that virtual array. They're using the Fiber Channel protocol. If we want, we can also specify the minimum number of paths that are required to filter our results, the type of volume. Do we want this volume to be capable of non-disruptive expansion? And also, are those values belong to a consistency group? We can also select the type of drives and type of systems that we will be using. So to continue filtering our results, since we know we're going to be using a Bmax, we should select Bmax as the type of system. If you want, you can specify the type of RAID, but we won't do that at this point. In the storage pool list, we can see only Bmaxes are listed. Other options that we have are auto-tiering policy and thin volume pre-allocation. If we have data protection requirements, we can specify the maximum snapshots and continuous copies. For protection, we could select RecoverPoint or Bplex to create continuous copies of the volumes created. Automatic storage pool selection will add everything that matches your results. To have more control, you can select manual and choose just the specific storage pools that we want to use, and that's what we're going to be doing. Now we save our virtual pool, and now let's create a pool. The second one, I want it to be a high performance tier 2 pool. For this one, we can use BNX SAS drives. We begin our query again. Notice that we select both Boston and Providence data centers so we'll have volumes from both data centers. The search criteria are not changed, so we see a long list of BMAX and BNX. So in order to filter them, we can select the BNX storage type. If you look at the storage pools, notice we have two different BNX showing up. This is because we selected both virtual arrays. The third and last storage pool we want to create is a high capacity storage pool. For these high capacity storage pools, let's use file, thin provision, and let's have them available from both data centers. I want to use both CIFS and NFS. And notice that our filter is showing me two results. You can see the NetApps and the Isilon storage. I can choose the storage pools manually as we've been doing, but in this case I want to use those two pools, so I'm going to leave it at automatic. Now that we have created 3 storage pools, remember it's not recommended to combine file and block storage in the same pool. When we see them created, it will show us the name of the pool and it will also show us the number of actual physical pools that are assigned to it. With this, we conclude our demo.